Welcome to the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. Yes, I am so grateful for 200 subs. Thank you, Frank. I sure appreciate you. I can't take no more of this. This nightmare has to end. In this God-forsaken place, death would be a welcome friend. I could pay a crooked guard to kill me. Yeah, that's it. Better that than die in 16 years slowly, bit by bit. All I did was rob a few stores. Justice here don't fit the crime. I've been broken by the devil. Justice is a waste of time. I won't get to heaven. Why not raise a little hell? You'll see me, but it's the last time. That filthy scum has gotta go. By tonight, it will be over. Time to make Ed Crowder pay. I won't get to heaven. Why not raise a little hell? No way I'll see heaven. So let's raise a little hell. That was from the Broadway musical of Bonnie and Clyde. I love that song. Jeremy Jordan plays Clyde, and he is so amazing. But I can't sing as well as Jeremy Jordan can. But anyway, hope everybody is having a good day. Looks like it's just me and you right now, Frank. Wow. The manhunt's over. And this just did not end as I expected that it would. People will talk. Oh, I know. These YouTube screeds. Better watch it. Yeah, this did not end like I thought it would. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about from them starting a relationship to the escape to the manhunt and then the apprehension, because this is I'm still sitting here scratching my ass, okay? Going, what the hell just happened? What was she thinking? And hey, David Taylor, how you doing? You know, we as women, and here I got two guys in the chat, but we as women, and guys are too, we're vulnerable. And I don't know a girl that has not gotten involved with a sorry ass man. And you know, we get lonely, we get down on ourselves, don't have self-confidence or whatever, especially, when we get older. But yeah, just say it like it is. I can, cons are cons for a reason, exactly. You know, this woman was married, and I don't know how happy her marriage was or anything. But she was married, divorced, and then but she stayed close to her husband as friends, and I think they said she took care of him till he died from Parkinson's disease. Um, been a law enforcement officer, 17 years, unblemished record. I mean, that is just damn near impossible to have an unblemished record like that. And like I said, I know what it's like to be vulnerable and, you know, fall in love with the wrong man or whatever, but, and I can see with, you know, female guards having trysts with prison inmates or jail inmates or whatever, that's nothing abnormal. But for one to throw away a 17-year unblemished record, second in command away, sell all her worldly possessions, leave her elderly mother, knowing that she can't call home. I mean, she's got any sense. She's got to know she can't call home. Betray all her fellow officers. 17 years of trust for this shithead. I mean, it. Did she think that he was actually innocent? Did he convince her that he was innocent? You know, how much did she really know about him? With her job title, I mean, she would have access to all his records. So she would have to know his whole criminal record, everything he's been charged with and all. And to be that lonely and desperate and all to break this man out of jail, and he's facing a capital murder charge, death penalty, to go on the run. And, you know, she planned a very methodical plan out for the escape, but it's as if she didn't plan any further ahead than the escape. And I just can't. And the sheriff in Indiana said that Casey stated that if they got caught, what do you mean, Frank? The full audio with the 911 call and all that? I have heard that. I've heard the audio from inside the officers' cars that were chasing them or whatever. I've heard the OnStar call and then to 911 and all that. But see, after in the 911 call, after she says the airbags are going off and they're going to kill us, let's just get out and run. The laws, who did she think hit them? That doesn't even make any sense. You're going to try to run from a bunch of police officers? And then you hear a lot of inaudible, and then you hear like this high-pitched squealing. It don't even sound like a scream to me. It sounds just like a squealing. And she's saying something like, Casey, something, I should have told you we should have stayed at the fucking hotel. And then I have not heard the gunshot or any of that. I have seen the video footage of them pulling her out of the car, but that's, which was, you know, pretty much all blurred out, and I didn't need to see that. But anyway, she had told Casey that if they got caught, that she would kill herself. And I just can't fathom. You think she was shot by one of the marshals? I mean, it's possible, but I mean, there would have been no reason for the coroner or any of them to lie about it, because they were armed and dangerous. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to have another, what's his face, guy that killed George Floyd, and Kim Potter that shot Deontay Wright. So, you know, I mean, the marshals would have been justified to shoot. So, I mean, I just don't see, and she shot herself in the head. So, I know I'm in the true crime community, and I've studied some of the most gruesome crimes you can imagine over the last 30 years, but there's just some things that are hard for me to say out loud, out of my own mouth. Air pain. But you know, I don't understand what, but they lose the big money. They get bringing them in a lot. Yeah. You know, I just don't understand her sacrificing her entire life, all her worldly possessions, her little dog, her mother, her integrity, her job, everything, to go on the run for a couple of weeks. It's like, I mean, I've heard of midlife crisis, but Jesus Christ, go buy a vet or something. You know, go buy a Ferrari. Don't break a capital murderer out of jail. You know, geez Louise. But I don't, you know, in order for them to have been successful, they would have needed someone on the outside that they could fully trust to hide them out and to help them for at least several months until some of the heat died down. They only went 200 miles away. And you know what's weird is it's like the sheriff, the Lauderdale sheriff was talking about when he said, you know, normally it's just an inmate and they escape from jail, and, you know, they don't have any real plans past that, but to just run, you know. And 9 times out of 10, they go home. The people that I know that have escaped from prison and jail and stuff went right back home. They do it every time. But in this instance, she went back home. That's what's so weird. They said she was from Amish community. That's a thought. Of course, I mean, the Amish community, though, just they're not going to just let any Tom, Dick, and Harry move into their community without, being all up in their butts. Who are you? What are you do? But yeah, I just, they seem to have no real plans after the escape. And because you got to think, Big Brother is everywhere now. You can't pick your ass. You can't flick a booger in public. No more. There is a camera everywhere. Oh, you talking about, I used to watch that show, Breaking Amish. Yeah, I used to watch that show. But yeah, they had, wigs and all that kind of stuff, but Big Brother's everywhere. They had cash, so they would have to go in the gas station and pay the clerk. Probably get something to drink, pack of cigarettes, whatever. They would have to go in the gas station. There's cameras all in the gas stations. There's cameras at the pumps, even if you're paying with a credit card. And, there's just cameras everywhere. So you can't go out in public. And when I had wondered why they didn't, stay at a campground or whatever, I was like, that was fucking stupid. Checking into the Motel 6 where they always leave the light on. Yeah, they switched cars 3 times, bought 3 cars to travel 200 miles. That money was going to be gone by next week. And then they were going to really be shit out of luck. It said that they paid a homeless man to rent the hotel room. And then the Lauderdale sheriff, I believe, one of the 2 sheriffs, might have been the Indiana sheriff, was saying on Ashley Field that they left behind that there was camping gear in the car too. Because, that's where you want to stay. You want to stay off grid. Don't go check into a fucking motel room. They're lucky they were able to find a homeless man and get him to do that. But been hundreds of miles away by the time the sheriff figured out what in the hell was going on. And then it took time to find out the information that they found out, as far as her going and buying that car and what that car looked like. And then, they got a week behind because that car had been ditched a few hours after they left and was sitting in a tow yard before the sheriff even knew they were gone. So I still want to know if the car broke down or not, though. I'm just dying to find out. I want to know, did they ditch the car to get another one because they figured by then they knew, and why leave the vehicles out in public? Why not do something better to obscure them or whatever? It just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And as far as I know, they've not come out yet and said whether or not where they bought the F Ford 150 that after the orange car and drove to Indiana. And then they were trying to ditch that car at the car wash. And then they got the Escalade or whatever. But I was confused. Did they buy the Escalade or did they steal it? Some people have reported it was stolen, and some people have said that they bought all three of the vehicles. I mean, I don't know why she might ditch in the car right by the hotel. And the hotel's across from the sheriff's department. What? Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Like I said, I don't plan elaborate future for themselves. And, you know, her being a correctional officer for 17 years, did she really think they were going to get away? Did she really think they were going to get away with it? I mean, shit, they should have been in fucking Waco. You know, they should have been down near the border where they could hide out somewhere. But it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why she would throw her entire life away to take a chance on this guy and try and go on the run with him like Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, even in the 1930s, it was hard for Bonnie and Clyde and for Blanche and Buck and them to wait, because she was getting it on with the car. You know, I just don't. I just cannot fathom what was going through her mind. Because, you know, even in the 30s, when Bonnie and Clyde were on the run, they didn't have $29,000 or $95,000 from selling a house. They might rob a store and get $15 on a good day. But yeah, you know, Blanche Barrel was the only one of them that lived. And she wrote a book while she was in prison, and she gave the manuscript to a friend of hers. And that lady found it while going through some stuff one day and said, I totally forgot Blanche had given this to me. And she had it published. And Blanche talks about, you know, how hard it was for them, and you know, being hungry and having to stay in campgrounds, sleeping on the ground, and, you know, being on the run, and that it was not glamorous because, you know, Hollywood has done so much to glamorize Bonnie and Clyde and what all really happened. But so, I mean, and now here we are, 80 some odd years later, and with all the modern technology that we have, and Big Brother in the sky, and on every lamppost, you know. Like I said, you can't flick a booger without somebody seeing it. So I just can't imagine what she was thinking. And, you know, the fact that she was bold enough to do this, but she wasn't bold enough to face the consequences of it. Because, like I said, I figured he at least would go out in a blaze of glory, because, oh, you live on a private estate? Ooh, I'd love to come to the UK sometime. My dream is to go to the Maldives, and I will live in a tent on a beach. In the car, whatever, I don't care. That place is beautiful. But it's just so sad for her mother, you know, who was just floored by the whole thing and could not believe what in the hell possessed her daughter to do this, and that she had no idea, no clue. But I figured he would go out in a blaze of glory, and that he even might try to use her as a shield, as a hostage. And, you know, some of us were even actually theorizing that he had already killed her, because we only saw him on the video at the car wash. So everybody was wondering, well, where's she at? Where's Vicky at? Is she dead? You know, nobody knew. I just don't understand what the point of them ditching these vehicles in public was. And where did they go and buy? We know that she bought the car, the orange car, she bought it at a car lot because she used a fake ID, and that in itself is a felon in Alabama. But, and that was her first mistake, honestly. Like, you might as well have bought a big yellow fucking school bus, you know? I mean, I would see that damn car on the other side of the freeway doing 75 and be like, hey, I just seen that orange car them Alabama escapees are in. I mean, you know, why she bought a bright orange fucking car to go on the run with a murderer, you know, is beyond me. But I'm interested to find out where they got the Ford F-150 and then the Escalade or whatever. She should have bought the original car from a private owner. Should have just looked on Facebook Marketplace or somewhere and just bought a car from an individual, because she could have worn a wig and sunglasses and handed them, you know, $3,000 cash and signed that title over, and off she went. She wouldn't even have had to show an ID to anyone. So, but I'm interested to find out where they got the Ford F-150 and then of course, the car that they were in when they were caught. And I'm wondering, is the reason why they left the motel was because they knew they had been made, or or what, you know. Because you do hear her say in the 911 call, I told you we should have stayed at the fucking motel. Whatever. It's just a, hey, mountain girl, how are you? It's just a crying shame that she threw her entire life, career, everything she knew, all her worldly possessions, her dog, her mama, I mean, the shirt off her back away for this dude. It, I mean, I've made some bad, thank you. I've made some bad choices in men, but damn, you know. Um, Mountain Girl, let me ask you, have you heard whether or not her did Casey's court date for trial for that woman's murder that he confessed to, was that trial date made before he confessed or after he confessed? Because I do believe that this plan began when he decided to confess to killing that woman and got transferred back to the jail. So, okay, you think it was before? Yeah, I was just kind of wondering about that because it made sense, you know. Um, I would have never, I mean, I would have never thought about that, but he confessed to an inmate and the inmate ratted him out, not linked. Huh. I thought he like called authorities and changed his not guilty plea and said that he wanted to confess, is the way that I understood it. Because like I said, I was thinking that this had to have began when he called and confessed or did whatever he did, confessed to killing that woman, and so he could get transferred back to the jail. And then they were, you know, they started putting the whole, talking it out and putting the whole plan in motion. Thank you, Mountain Girl. I sure appreciate it. Yeah, everybody hit the like and subscribe button and help me get my little channel to rolling and everything. Yeah, I feel so yeah. You missed me singing a song from the Broadway musical of Bonnie and Clyde, Mountain Girl. It's at the beginning. It's a song that Jeremy Jordan sings. It's called Raise a Little Hell. It's my favorite song from the musical. I like show tunes. Yeah, these little channels, and you know, it sucks for us that want to, you know, report on true crime and talk about true crime and you know, it's not to get the views that the drama channels get and the clickbait channels and all that. It's just, but you know, whatever. I guess it's like Biggie said, more money, more problems. I don't know. There's a few of them that I can't fathom why anybody in the world even listens to the word they say. But that's just me. But I just feel so terrible for her mother. Well, thank you, Mountain Girl. I appreciate it. And now this, this guy has destroyed somebody. I mean, yes, she's a grown woman and she had a choice to make, but her mother didn't. She didn't give her mother a choice. Now she's destroyed. You know, just more lives this dude has destroyed. I think he's made a career out of destroying people's lives. I'm just, it's just a little hard to understand, why it's like she was brave enough to do this and bold enough to do this, but she wasn't bold enough to face the consequences and the humiliation. And he looked fatter and she looked skinnier in the Marshall cams. How in the world would you hide that big, tall, big-eared dude anyway? I mean, come on. He sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah, they definitely should have stayed off grid. And, had they bought a car from an individual and whatnot, if she had a fake ID, then, they would have been better off staying in more campgrounds and stuff. And and they'd been at that hotel for 6 days. So, oh, I know. Yeah, it could have gone much worse. And that's what I was saying. This didn't end how I thought it would. I thought he'd go out and blaze of glory and take her hostage and, all kinds of crazy stuff. But you could have had a neighbor. Yeah. Oh, believe me. I mean, there were times that I was sitting here at night and I think, I need to get up and lock the door. I need to get up and lock the door, because, I mean, God forbid, we didn't know where the hell they were. So I just can't believe they didn't go farther than what they did. That would have been my first priority, was to get it as far away as I could and hide out. They should have went south. Definitely. But I mean, like I said, the truth is Big Brother is everywhere, and you have to think about the fact that you can't go in a gas station, you can't go in a restaurant, you can't go in a truck stop, you can't get a job, you can't do any, unless you go into Texas and get a job with the other illegals. You can't go out in public because Big Brother is everywhere, and social media spreads like wildfire. And this case was big. You think Pennsylvania was their plan? I don't know. It's hard to say. But they said she had previously lived in Indiana. That was what was so weird about them ending up in Indiana. Was usually it's the inmate that goes home, but in this case it was the okay. I appreciate you too, Mountain Girl. Thank you so much for coming by. um I just really, I don't know. I mean, a part of me does feels bad for her to an extent, but she had to know what she was doing. you know I don't think she was that naive, but we all do stupid things for love. TV and stuff everywhere. Oh yeah, like the Amish. Yeah, but even they would have stuck out in the Amish. I mean, they would have had to, you know, adapt to and worn the clothes and, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, still, I mean, I would have done everything possible to get away a whole lot farther than what they did. I mean, they should have already been in Pennsylvania by the time they got caught. But I am glad that they did get caught, and I hate that she did what she did to herself, but I'm glad he didn't, and I'm glad that the cops didn't have to shoot him. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to live off grid. You want to be somewhere. I could hide somebody out here where I am, and nobody'd ever know. You know, you want to go somewhere inconspicuous and not dancing around in public in front of the sheriff's office, at the car wash, and the Motel 6. I mean, I don't know. Hey Lisa, how are you? I've just been, it's finally warmed up here in Arkansas. We went from cold to hot. We skipped spring as usual. It rained for 4 days and now it's 90 degrees. So I'm just sitting outside in my easy chair looking at the cat laying here. Gabby. So I wanted to tell y'all also that the video that I posted called Mother's Day Massacre, the coroner did release the names of the children. He did not release their causes of death. That is sealed. But I don't see any reason to, you know, say the children's names. But there were two 8-year-old twin boys and a 12-year-old daughter. And then she had, Angela Flores, she had 7 kids in all. Because she had the 16-year-old son who was also arrested. And then she had some other older kids that were not in the home at the time of the murders. But it's just, that story caught my attention, and I mean, that was as bad as Scott Peterson killing Lacey Peterson on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, whenever it was. No, they weren't taken by their mom. They had just moved in this home. They had been living in this home in San Fernando Valley in West Hills for a few months. She was a single mother. Like I said, she had 7 kids, and I think the kids had different last names, so they obviously had different fathers. She's a very beautiful woman. I can't imagine how this is gonna turn out. Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, Frank. I see what you're saying. I just can't imagine what happened, what went down. Um, if she was having some kind of a mental break, or she was drunk or drugged, or what. But I didn't see them, putting her in the county jail if she was like having some type of a mental illness, psychotic break or whatever. I didn't first I didn't see them putting her in jail. So I don't know why she was doing all the crazy stuff that she was doing, lighting candles in the neighbor's yard and screaming about her Bible and stuff. Just sad. But anyway, I just wanted to, now that it was all over and all the reports have come back, and Casey's back in custody and he's back in Alabama. Um, I think he's going to a high security facility. He's going back to the actual prison, and I think they're going to send him to a high security prison. I would love, though, because that, okay, well, we caught him yesterday, so damn well that when Casey got back, that sheriff went and talked to him. And I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to have heard that conversation. I mean, I don't know if I got a feeling he's already, faced him down and asked him, what in the hell was going on, and, but, yeah, he's mad, real mad. He's even talking about violating his civil rights on national television, said, and I don't care either. Call civil rights attorney on me. They would have swatted us both through. Yeah. But man, I'm wondering if I'm hoping, really hoping that maybe one day, here in a few weeks or sometime, that her mother will go in the room where Vicky was staying there at her house, and she'll find a letter or something left behind of Vicky explaining or whatever why she did all this. I mean, I don't know what her relationship with her mother is. They may not be real close like me and my mom were. But no way could I have ever done this to my mother and put her through something like this. I mean, it's just so sad. And even all her fellow employees, even though they're all pissed, they're still hurting because she was still their, she was their friend. She was their someone that they looked up to and they trusted and liked. But there was, I don't think I don't remember if the sheriff said it or if it was another deputy that said it, but someone said that she was, yeah, definitely. Someone said that she was not a very talkative person, but that she was the kind of person that was on top of things. If you needed something done, she got it done. And Mama always said, it's the quiet ones you have to worry about. So, I don't really think we can look to any kind of mental illness or anything as the cause or reasoning for what she did. I mean, yeah, this is something crazy that someone would do when they were in a manic phase of bipolar disorder. But she would have had to have had that diagnosis a long time ago. And, you know, this was never going to end well anyway, because even if they had been able to stay out on the run a little longer than what they were, that money was going to be gone by next week. They done blew through $60,000 of that money. So that money was going to be gone by next week. They weren't going to be able to get access to any more. And like I said, it's not like they can go get a job, or whatever. So, and the sheriff from his hometown, from Casey's hometown, who had dealt with him for years and years, who even had to talk him down from taking his life. They bought 3 cars, Lisa. Yeah, they bought all 3 of them cars that they used within 200 miles. They changed cars 3 times. That's what I was saying earlier. She should have had a better choice of cars from the very get-go instead of buying one that's bright orange, but that sheriff from his hometown that had dealt with him for so many years, they had a standoff with him and had to talk him down from taking his own life. And he talked about how mentally unstable Casey was. So eventually it was going to get ugly. And, he was going to probably start abusing her and hitting her and all kinds of stuff. And so, I just don't see this as ever working out in the long run. Exactly. They should have bought a camper and went off grid. I mean, that's what I would have done. Like I was saying earlier, hell, I could hide somebody out here where I'm at would nobody ever know. But at least stayed in dispersed, campgrounds, free campgrounds, and even if you have to pay, if she had a fake ID and a wig, or they're going to be less likely to look. And some of them don't have anybody working at their post or whatever, and you can just reserve, just put your money in an envelope and put it in a little thing, drop box or whatever. And like I said, there's plenty of places to stay where it's free dispersed camping like Gabby and Brian were. So, I mean, I don't know how many places were between Alabama and Evansville, Indiana, where they ended up. That's something she should have been planning out ahead of time, is mapping where all a bunch of campgrounds and things were that they could stay in and, you know, and be less conspicuous. I don't know. You know, it's just a sad way to end and throw away your life. It really is. But I am going to get off here. It's going to be getting dark here pretty soon. And yeah, outside in my easy chair. I can't sit in my camper with the air conditioner on, try to do a live, because it's really loud. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Um, so I'm sitting outside, and it's cooled down out here now. It was hot as blue blazes outside, but anyway, I'm gonna get off here and wrap something to eat and see what's well, she went out on an adventure with Dane. Yeah, I guess so. You don't want me to what I said. YouTube might flag me. Hope that DICK was worth it. Hope it was good. You know. And it's sad. It really is. It's sad. I'm just wondering if they're really going to give him the death penalty or not, or if he'll plea bargain on that. If he'll go ahead and keep his plea of guilty or whatever, if they take the death penalty off the table, plus, you know, of course, he'll get all these, you know, years and stuff for this escape and all that. But an escape charge here in Arkansas is only 5 years. But he was already doing 75 a year. So, I mean, he's not going anywhere regardless. He's not going anywhere, whether they give him the death penalty or not. He'll just sit on death row for 20 years going through appeals and shit, because that's how long it takes. But I want to thank everybody for stopping by, and please like, share, and subscribe, and help my little channel grow. And I'll probably see you all tomorrow. And everyone, as I always say, and please remember to be the change that you wish to see in this world. As Michael Jackson said, it starts with the man in the mirror. Peace out. Good night, everybody.